Hello, YouTube. Jason from Renegade Rants Comics. So I haven't done a video in a while, and I decided today would probably be the day to do one if I was going to, considering it's the second anniversary of the channel. So 2 years ago, I decided that I was going to grab my phone and some comics, and I was going to record myself talking about the comics that I loved, because I had gotten down the rabbit hole of watching other creators and their channels and just seeing the community, and I wanted to be part of that. And I think I've succeeded. I have a lot of friends that have channels. Shout out to everybody. Haul Yeah Comics, Side Quest Comics, Mon Comics, Lunch Money Comics, Colossus Collector, you know, Son of Crom. All of those guys were so supportive when I, started this venture. Up and Adam Comics, was gracious enough to send me some artwork, which hangs in the other room, which I don't know if probably not able to see it from there since I'm in the new Renegade. But a lot of these creators and Casino Comics, Comics with Stevie D, these guys, kind of became like an extended family. And I kind of feel bad that I haven't really been able to necessarily contribute as much as I was. I've thrown some shorts up, but just me working on my bike, me opening some unboxings. I got into a whole guitar thing where I was buying a bunch of guitars. But in honor of the actual second anniversary, we decided to get some new art. And hopefully YouTube doesn't think I'm trying to flash you and, do anything weird with the algorithm. But so 2 years on the channel, when I decided I was going to create it, I really like Dennis Miller's rants, and I can be very passionate when it comes to certain things. So in a few of my videos, I've kind of gone off on tangents if I didn't really like a creator working on the Punisher or if the way they were doing certain storylines. But all in all, there's enough controversy out in the world right now that I don't think I needed to add to it anymore. So yes, I said Renegade Rants, but I'm only going to kind of rant about the stuff that really is bothering me and when it comes to my favorite characters. So I decided that when I was going to do this, my first goal was Ghost Rider. That's my guy. So I got all the Johnny Blaze Ghost Riders. I got all of the 90s Danny Ketch Ghost Riders. I have quite a few of the different, Ghost Riders that have came up through, but those weren't my goals. I wanted to complete those runs, which I did. I even got the Marvel Spotlights. That was the initial run with Johnny Blaze, and then my grail was the Marvel Spotlight 5. I was able to get that last year at Terrificon. Super excited. So then I moved on to the Punisher, because Punisher was also one of my characters. And I kind of grew up with the Punisher comics because they really kind of came out when I was a kid. And then I remember them almost all the way up through high school. And today is also the 30th anniversary of me graduating high school. So, I kind of remember, still sitting in study hall, stealing my buddy Dave's, Punisher Armory or something and reading it. So I thought I was done with the Punisher because I have the War Journal, I have the War Zone, and I have the regular Punisher run from the 90s. That's what I wanted. And then it came to light that I didn't have all of them. So I'm missing some Punisher armories. So I'm going to show you a quick group of what I picked up, and then in the last couple weeks kind of thing. And then I'll kind of talk about some things I have planned for the channel and, see where we go. So the first thing that I ended up getting was Punisher Armory 3, because I didn't realize I didn't have all the armories. Now, the Armory was basically, it's not really a story. It's just Frank talking about the guns he has. So it's usually 32 pages and no ads. And there was 10 issues that were done. Apparently, issue 10 is impossible to find. And the price that I was able to find it on either my comic shop or on eBay is a lot more than I really want to spend on it. So I have 9 of them now. I'm missing 10. So that's going to be one of my try to find it at Terrificon kind of thing and at least save on the shipping, because I don't believe any LCS around me is going to have that. And if you factor in that it's 30 to 40 bucks plus $10 shipping, which I don't understand $10 shipping, I'll just gripe about that right now. But that's one of those things. So then I was able to pick up Punisher Armory 8 and Punisher Armory 9. So that means that I have everything but 10. So that's now one of those in the back of my head that I need to get that. Some of the other stuff I got Punisher number 5. I love Percy's run on this. I did kind of rant about the way that I thought that they kind of rushed ending the miniseries because this was coming out and it does tie into the miniseries, but I really don't know why they rushed it as bad as they did when they could have actually used the first couple issues of this, which they did anyway, to kind of tie everything together. You know, it is what it is. So then I was able to see that they had a variant cover on Black Cat and the Punisher, and I'm telling you, it's Black Cat 11, and this is the best story that I've read in a long time. Like, I just laughed. And I shouldn't laugh because of the content in it, and I'll kind of let you read it for yourself. But let's just say that you don't mess with Punisher's friends in a very John Wick way. And we'll leave it at that. So then I got Wolverine 21. And then with the movie hype coming out, I ended up getting Masters of the Universe number 1, which I still haven't seen the movie, but it's on the list. And then the final thing that I picked up was Supernatural Special Castiel number 1. And I'm a big Supernatural fan. Again, don't like the horror movie genre as a, whole, but you tell me how to kill it, I'm 90% there. So, what are the plans for the channel moving forward? I think I'm going to start maybe trying to do like once a month a deep dive into some of the collection I already have. I'm not hitting the LCSs as much as I used to. I am getting some newer things, like I'm getting the new Punisher run. But I don't know if I'm trying to save money to find something better. And I do have the Jonah Hex run that I'm going to try to fill in, but I have enough comics that I could actually start just doing a deep dive in the collection, because I've showed off most of them, but I'm thinking maybe pick a few of them and just talking about the actual storylines that I really like in them, or, characters, or maybe first appearances that I actually have on the comics that I have. The other thing is, obviously going to Terrificon this year, I saw everybody had actually gone to Heroes Con and had a blast. And I'm honestly, in the next year or two, I want to try to make Heroes Con, because I know a lot of the guys that I really like and respect and would love to actually meet in person, actually go to Heroes Con. And it's not really close to where my dad lives in North Carolina, but it's not that far away considering I'm up in northern New York. So maybe I'll try to hit it where I can go down and see my dad for a couple of days, go to the convention, and then head back. I want to, at Terrificon, I'm probably going to actually do more autographs this year. than I have in the past. Get some things signed. I don't really see me doing anything where I'm like going to slab anything, but they actually have a bunch of actors. And every year I talk about, well, I'd rather get a group of comics for what it costs for one actor, but Ron Perlman's going to be there and a bunch of the other Sons of Anarchy actors. And that's not why I love him. My mother's favorite show in the 80s was Beauty and the Beast. And I just remember that he looked phenomenal in that. I loved him in Hellboy. And I think he would just be somebody that, would be awesome to meet in person. So that's one that I might actually get. There's a few other ones, and I'll kind of just do a deep dive video before I go to Terrificon on what I plan on doing with that. But the one thing I want to do is all the other fellow creators, and if I missed anybody, Crom, Tony, Nate, Lettuce Comics, Mr. Akins, what's on the comic rack, just all of the people that I've met along the way that have been so gracious to kind of let me into the community. Mike from Lunch Money, Brandon from Mon Comics. It's an honor to be among you guys. And I may not have the following that you guys do, but I know that a lot of you watch my content, and I try to watch your content when I can. And that just means the world to me. If you're not subscribed to these channels, please go check them out. Up and Atom Comics, Comics with Stevie D, Casino Comics. These guys are really putting in the time to, make content, and it's not easy making content. And it can easily burn you out. So that's where I want to kind of, I guess, leave things off. I just want to thank anybody that actually watches these and supports the channel. That I've been able to do this for 2 years, and hopefully there'll be more years to come. It's been a rough year. In September, I was in the hospital for an extended period of time, and now I have all sorts of gizmos and doodads on me to help control the diabetes, and I'm trying to work out because I gained some weight on the other stuff, and just trying to get back into the swing of things. But I've actually started working on the bike, threw new shoes on it, tires, and, did a few little minor upgrades kind of thing that you can see in the shorts. And I really want to get some miles on it this year because I'm actually feeling good enough that I think I can actually, get back on it and ride. Again, thank you to everybody that's supportive. Thank you to everybody that's actually ever clicked on one of my videos and, subscribed. All my friends that, we still hang out and talk about comic books, Sean, Dave, those guys, just, it's a great honor to, take what I enjoy talking about with my lifelong friends and then actually being able to talk to a community of like-minded people that actually, gets it, from storage issues to do you use comic capsules or do you use, CGC for the grading, or, what's the new grading company going to come in that's going to kind of replace CBCS since that's gone? All of you guys, much love, appreciate you all, and we will see you next time.